dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu sansara vartmani. Those who are not faithful in the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. But some people who are not able to put faith in this process, ashraddha dhana purusha. So because you have not seen God and so many doubts can happen, that is natural. We are infinitesimal, atomic spirit soul. We want to understand infinite spirit. Just to understand the science of these bones, teeth within our mouth, you have to study 4-5 years. And then you become a dentist. And you study 6-7 years, you become ophthalmologist. And you have just knowledge of the small organ called eye, that is also very limited. And you want to understand knowledge about everything, who has the source of everything, the supreme creator. So one is bound to get confused. So those who get carried away by such confusion are not able to put faith on this process, then mrityu sansara vartmani. Aprapya mam nivartante, they are not able to attain me. So those people who first want to do complete research and then they want to follow Krishna consciousness, for them the process is bahunam janmanam ante jnanman mam prapadyante. They want to first do discovery, and once they are fully convinced by doing this discovery by their senses, when they have understood perfectly, got convinced, yes, Krishna is Supreme Personality, He is Creator, He is the origin, He is in the heart of everybody, His energies are only spread everywhere. When they get convinced thoroughly, then only I will start worshipping Krishna, chanting the names of Krishna, engaging in His worship. Then that will take a very, very long time. But if a person is little wise, follows Buddhi Yoga, Yoga of intelligence, he sees that all those great authorities who have dedicated their lives to find truth, they are telling me that this is right. So why do I suffer for so many lifetimes of birth and death? So these people who have dedicated their life to find truth, they are telling it is fact. And those people who follow this path, they get the result. So, and there is no loss. What is the loss in chanting the names of God? What is the loss in reading, spending time, discovering the wonderful knowledge in these books? And what is the loss? Anyway, I have to eat food. If I keep in front of Krishna, I eat. What is the loss? So let me try, let me experiment. So those people who are able to follow in little good faith, then they advance. But those, no, I first want to discover everything, they take many, many lifetimes. So initially it is but natural that we will have doubts. We have doubts in any field of knowledge. But we should understand our faith is actually deceptive in this material world. The faith is also the result. We will discuss this science beautifully. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in the coming chapters. How the faith is also the result of field of activity. For example, a moth, because of ignorance, is convinced, if I go approach closer to fire, I will be very happy. But the moth loses its life. This is called faith in ignorance. A person is convinced, oh, if I get this man or woman, my life would become successful, and sometimes they are able to get the love of their life. But in a couple of days or months, they realize, actually, my love of life has become the distress of my life. Why this happens? We were convinced. Materialists are convinced, if I get money, I will be happy. Or if I get this position in society, I'll be happy, not noticing those people who have these positions, are they happy in their life? So this is called actually blind faith. Pashyanapi na pashyati. I am seeing those people who have acquired this are not happy. Where is the cause of possibility of my happiness in acquiring these things? So thus we have to understand the faith that we have is the result of the senses and the mind that I have got. The senses of moth and his brain, mind is convincing him, you jump into fire, go closer to fire, you will be happy. And the mind cheats us. People get cheated by their mind thinking this man or woman will make you happy, but it does not make. They get cheated, this position in society will make you happy. Mind and senses convince them. But then, so we have to understand our fate depends upon our mind and senses. If a person is blind, he cannot put faith whether the person standing in front of me is beautiful or not. He can never put faith. because eyes don't allow to have faith. Similarly, a person who is sick, he cannot put faith, this dish is palatable or not, because the tongue gives only bitter taste whatever he eats. So our faith depends upon our senses and mind, our body. That is why we have to understand real faith on substance, on reality is acquired by people who are completely beyond the clutches of this body, who are liberated souls. That is why we have to see who is the liberated person and what are his convictions about life. We should try to follow that person, those liberated people. So we have to understand this point very carefully. So initial stages in spiritual life, because we are very small and this body is completely under control of material nature, we may get distracted and lose faith. But we have to understand what is the value of our faith. A child is having faith, if I play my entire life, I would be happy, does not realize the importance of education. The tribals were having faith, the sun is dying every evening and the new sun takes birth every morning. Does it make any sense? So we should not depend upon our faith and our perceptions. Our faith simply depends upon the body. That is it not sensible? It is very sensible, common sense. So faith should be upon the knowledge given in the user manual, the Vedas, Vedic literatures. Or the faith should be upon the liberated personalities who are not getting affected by the material nature. Now we are completely affected by material nature. That is why it is told in Updeshamrita, Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam Jivva Vegam Udropastha Vegam. Any person who is able to control the urges of the body, we have urge to talk. We cannot be silent. Manasa Vegam, mind, there is urge to think of this thing, that thing. Lusty thoughts, angry thoughts, we cannot control. So Manasa Vegam, Krodha Vegam, Jivva Vegam, tongue wants to taste many things palatable. Even though I am diseased, I know this is wrong, I still end up eating that. Jivva Vegam. Udaropasth Vegam, the vega of belly, fill it more. And the vega of reproductive organs, very strong. So one who is able to control these vegas, one who is not affected by the forces of material nature, Sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat, such a person can make disciples all over the world. So one has to find a person who is free from the clutches, from the modes of material nature. But what is our education system? Become more and more controlled by material nature, more and more conditioned. Vedic education means remain satisfied in every situation, control your mind, control your senses, get free from the clutches of material energy. Now we are more dependent. Now I am creating more addictions in my life. I wanted 5 lakh rupees earlier. Now I cannot sustain without 20 lakhs. I cannot sustain without 1 crore or 100 crores. If I make 50 crore profit, I am under great stress. 50 crore is not satisfying. Is that liberation or conditioning? We have become more dependent on money. Earlier I was dependent on 5 lakh rupees. I am dependent now on 50 crore rupees in my life. So now earlier I was satisfied, but now I have people, I cannot live without those people. So what is this, liberation or dependence? Now if that person is not with me, I get very much disturbed. So in this way we are creating more and more. If I cannot eat that thing every day, I cannot have a cup of coffee every day, I cannot have beer every other day, I become disturbed. I cannot watch my favorite TV series, Netflix every day, I become disturbed. I cannot watch my football or cricket match, I become disturbed. So we are becoming more and more conditioned by material nature. And how a conditioned soul can be happy? Now your team loses, you become stressed. Match does not happen, you become stressed. The people whom you are attached to, time will take them away from you. Time will change their nature. Or time can cause calamity and accidents. We become stressed. In this way, the more we are conditioned with the pegs of material nature, we lose our freedom. And Vedic culture means Ya Vidya Sa Vimuktaye. Not Vedic culture, it is common sense also. Knowledge means Vimuktaye, which liberates you. And this knowledge makes you conditioned. Now you find a good job. If you don't find job after education, then you are hopeless. So no. So that is why, please, whenever there is confusion in life, always you can reflect what we have discussed here in the explanation of this third verse. Don't depend upon senses and our faith. Child is having faith, tribals are having faith, sun is dying, sun is rising, moth is having faith. What is the value of such faith and perception? Find a liberated person. Find the Vedas, the user manual. Try to understand this is authorized knowledge or not, and then try to follow. So this is the process of advancement. So those who are able to understand this thing, they make advancement. But ashraddhadhana, those who are not able to understand the simple thing, they base their convictions, their direction in life, basis what their senses and mind, these inputs are giving them, then they are lost. They don't attain me. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyaktamurti